is Andy Grove. If anyone knows who Andy Grove is, he's the guy that in 1976 joined Intel. And basically the net revenues of Intel was about $2,760 when he took it, part of it. When he retired, it was a $20.8 billion company. So, and he said something that I think about every year. As we enter the new year, it's something to consider. Success breeds complacency. Complacency breeds failure. Only the paranoid survive. Now, I'm in no way, shape, or form saying that you need to be paranoid about your desk guys or your business. A little paranoia is okay, but not a whole lot. So, there's a couple points that I want to make here today. And one point is how can I make my desk guide more visually appealing and give more access to needed information? Another point I want to make is how can I improve the marketing collateral to better position my property for repeat business? And the third is going to be, is there a better way to produce my guest guide? Well, let's start with the first point, is the component of the guest guides. It's the written word, it's the rules, the regulations, and the things that people need to see. But studies show, the U.S. Department of Health, the NIH division, show that if you use font serif, not sans serif, font serif, at a 12-point font, then you're going to get more people interested in that product. Believe it or not, it's a study. And if you ask our graphic design team, there are literally tens of thousands of different types of fonts that you can use for your guest guides. But sans serif seems to resonate the most. Also, a CMO study showed that pictures of serene places within your guest guide hold memories. Believe it or not, people hold on to guest guides. People hold on to these things for memories. So pictures of serene places, perhaps within your facility, would be the way to go. And also, less is more. More content is not going to make it pop. It's also an NIH study that the more condensed and packed and jammed your information is in your guest guide, the more likely it's going to be thrown away. Because who wants to hold on to an encyclopedia, quite honestly? So, you know, that's one thing. That's the viewpoint of it. The other thing is the accessibility, okay? Part of customer service is to be able to give people information and make it accessible to them while they're visiting your facility. And sometimes people lose their guest guide. So what do you do at that point? I would suggest, and Carly, can you help me for a second here?
Oh, sure.
Whether you use a company like Southeast Publications or you use any other company, most times you're going to get a banner, preferably an indoor, outdoor, all-weather banner or something along those lines. Now I'm holding up one of two that you should have in your facility. This one here is your guest guide with advertisements on there. Now, I can't tell you how many times I've been at trade shows and people actually say that this thing has saved tons of calls to my office when it's closed, and the emergency numbers because people's RV broke down, or something along those lines. So it does save staff some time by having these up. Also, you have, thanks Carly, I'm going to go ahead and drop that. Then you have your site map, of course, where you can help people understand what the rules, regulations are, perhaps hours of operation of certain amenities, so on and so forth. So you want to make sure that it's accessible, not only just in your guest guide, but in other areas of your park. And most places will allow you to have, from us, you can order multiples if you need to, that's not a problem. Digital profiles. Most of us have websites, some of us don't. But we believe wholeheartedly that you need to have some sort of a digital presence. And if you don't have one now, you can link up with people. I know Brian has a platform. We have a platform where people can view your content online. Maybe if you're condensing information from your guest guide, perhaps they can get the full picture through a digital platform. But you need to be able to be online, especially considering that 99% of people are in some capacity. So this brings me to my next point, is how do you integrate your digital platform with the printed platform? And that is, let me use an example. Colleen Dorwer, she's the loyalty project manager for Cabela's. And Cabela's, if you don't know, they send out about 125 million catalogs each year. And Colleen made this statement: we believe in a blend of print and digital communications to make sure we're reaching out to our customers in a way that they want to be marketed to. It goes back to customer experience. The trick is finding the right balance. So even a large company like Cabela's understands that there's value integrating your printed and your digital. And there's other examples that I'll go into in a minute. But one of those things is QR codes, okay? A QR code basically is a static image, and it directs a person that uses a scanner to a dynamic URL. And basically, if you use that, you can have people connect with your strategy. Your larger strategy is to grow your Facebook audience. If you want to do that, have your QR code connect to your Facebook page. If you want to run a special, you could put on the outside of your guest guide, scan QR code for current specials. And you can take them to a landing page that shows your current specials. Pardon my phone, sorry about that. Quite embarrassing. And so basically and there's been studies that show, in fact, there was a CMO study that indicated that 95%, it was actually done through Experian, that indicated that 95% of all marketers found QR codes to be effective with their marketing strategy. I know a lot of you are probably sitting in here right now and be like, quite honestly, Brian, I haven't done it once. I don't know what you're talking about, Don't feel bad. There are many people, it's now gaining traction, but people are going to start using it. If they're not using it and you want to try something different, then try text to sign up, okay? If you want to, and this is a great way to build a following. For example, Southeast Publications has 1,500 properties that have an ad space that says text the word CPUB to the number 22828. And when you do that, if any of you do that on your smartphone, there's going to be a message that pops up that says, enter your email address, thank you for choosing Google RV, enter your email address and sign up. Doing this strategy has netted us 20,000 new opt-in email subscribers. So it works, and now we market that and remarket our properties to that audience, and it's growing. So you can do the same for your property. Constant Contact is a great platform. They'll give you words, keywords, with your package, and that will help you be able to put in whatever you want to put in, John's RV Park type, whatever you want, really. And they'll be able to sign up for your newsletter. So it's a great thing to remarket to your customers, remarket specials, so on and so forth. And finally, my last point is there a better way to make your guest guide? I truly believe there are better ways to make your guest guide. And, a survey, and I'm big on surveys if you're carrying it. I love to say, okay, well, you know what, I just can't guess. I need to have backup, okay? There was a survey done by Glass Packaging Institute that revealed that almost 94% of Americans think recycling is good for the environment. Out of 750 household Newton Marketing Research survey, 81.1% said their household recycle waste, they do currently recycle waste products and use reusable products. So if you think about it, we do tons of publications, literally about 89,000 tons of guest guides, okay? So last year we made a decision to recycle, to use recycled paper, okay? And a short ton of unrecycled paper, when it's sent out, it equates to a loss of 17 trees, 7,000 gallons of water, 4,100 kilowatts of energy, 60 pounds of air pollution, and 2.5 cubic yards of landfill space. So last year, we did about 45 tons, which essentially saved us 760,000 trees, 325 million gallons of water. We could power a house for 5 years. 3 million pounds of air pollution was saved, and 100,000 cubic yards of landfill space was saved. So we do that. And we believe that we don't need to use anything more than you need. Okay. Some people like to go and do do a heavier stock of paper. We don't believe in that. That equates to more tons being produced and more energy being expended, and it's not in alignment with our customer base. It's just not in alignment. So look into the stock that you're using and make sure that it's at a certain level. And only use relevant content, much like we were talking about in the past. Use relevant content. You don't need to put in anything. Less is more. You can market better. And finally, we use soy ink now. Soy ink, unlike petroleum ink, lays better, colors pop more CMOs are using it, and also it is different than petroleum-based ink in a sense that once you discard petroleum-based ink, it causes a compound benzene to occur. Benzene has been known to cause cancer, bone marrow failure, and different types of illnesses. So now we are using soy ink because also soybeans are more of a renewable energy source than petroleum. So think about going green for your publication. And really, in the end, my points I hope can resonate with some of you, and if you have any questions, now would be the time to ask.